Good evening, and welcome to this channel about past lives and reincarnation. Now, as most of you know, I have another channel called Sanity for Sweden. And this channel and that other channel sort of connect because of what I have attention on. They deal with the same situation, sort of. What's happening? See? And I don't have to tell you that things in our societies are pretty wild right now. And I want to tell you an example of this. I was banned on my other channel for a week, and this is the 4th time I'm banned. So why was I banned? I must have done something, I must have said something, right? And I'll tell you what I did. I mentioned a person's name. That's right, that's what I did. And you would say, yeah, well, this person must be a murderer, at least. A mass murderer, something. This terrible terrorist or something, right? Oh, it was a lady. I mentioned her name, and she's from Ireland. And she's not convicted. She never harmed anyone, as far as I know. And I don't think so. She's a great lady. See? So this is as crazy as it can get, of course. You are now banned on a social media platform because you mention a person's name. All she did was to disagree with the rulers. She disagreed with those who want to control us. She disagreed on a particular medical procedure. That's what she did. And I mentioned her name. Right, so I thought I should talk about this. What's going on? I mean, if you look back just 3 years ago, I don't think this could have happened. And now it happens, right? So what is going on, according to me? Well, I think this is a spiritual struggle. And it started with the spiritual awakening. I think it started in the 80s, maybe earlier. But I know it really got going in the 80s. And more people were searching for answers. And of course the big question is, who am I? And what is all this? And that's what started this whole thing. Because these people who want to control everything, they could see this happening. And they felt they had to do it. And they had to do something about it. Because they don't want to let go of the control. And their plan was to make it tougher. And this is the thing, you know, when people wake up about themselves, then it becomes almost impossible to control them. I mean, if you know exactly who you are, you can't really be scared, you see? They can't say, well, if you don't do what we tell you to do, we will take away your stuff. And we will do this and that to you. You will not be able to buy a car or something, you see? A person who is awake to that level of knowing who he is or she is can't be controlled. It's impossible. Especially if you understand that you live more lives. Then you understand that, okay, so this life, well, I like it very much, and I want to live, but I will live again. You see? So I believe that these guys, they understood what was going on. And it started, as far as I know, in the 80s. And then internet came. And that was also a very big, important factor here. Because now all of a sudden you could connect with people all over the planet. And you could find people that was very awake, and you start to listen to them. You start to exchange ideas with them. And you were getting friends. And this was growing quickly, of course. So now they have a big problem. They have a planet who is now connected and is waking up. And people are waking up to what's happening in our societies. But this is like the first step. And people become curious about what's happening. You see, they are sort of shaken, and they sort of rise up from themselves and start to look around and wonder what's happening here. And the next step, according to me, is starting to ask questions about who are all these people? What am I doing here? You see, who am I? That's sort of the next level. So I think these terrible things that are happening on our planet right now is a good thing. See, because it will just speed up the awakening. Now, what they will try to do is, of course, to make everybody suffer. And with this, we have to do something about this, of course, if it happens. Because when people start to suffer, I mean, material suffering, you know, they can't get food, they can't keep warm, things like this. Then we are looking at the beginning of another dark age. And I believe that's what they want to create, the dark age. So we have to do something about it. So this is what I think is happening. And I'm optimistic about the whole thing. Especially since I'm pretty old now. I'm 63 years old. And I feel that I've done the things that I wanted to do in this life. I want to do more, of course, but I'm happy. I'm pleased with what I did already. And I'm already starting to look forward to the next life. See? So for me, I don't feel that it's a big problem for me personally. Now, I don't like it, of course, especially when I think about my grandchildren and my children, but especially my grandchildren. I don't like it. I don't want to see them suffering. I want to see them live a full, happy life, of course. So I feel I want to do something about it. That's right. All right, so how do you feel about these things? You know, I read all the comments. Feel free to speak. Say what you want. I'm interested. All right. Be good.